I was trying to give Shannon Sharpe a warning. I was trying to give his fans a warning. I was trying to give y'all the clues to understand this idol that you put on this pedestal. Unk, unk, unk. And he's, the Club Shay Shay. And Jason, you just don't like him because he's black. I'm like, no, you don't know him. I do know him. I know what transpired at Fox Sports. You're going to get embarrassed. There'll be additional reporting about issues that had to be settled at Fox Sports related to Shannon Sharpe.
But trust me, they got an HR file on Shannon Sharpe that would make your head spin.
No.
The things that Shannon Sharpe did at FS1 make Joy Taylor look like Mother Teresa.
That's crazy.
But I'll leave it there because I don't.
Jason Whitlock exposes Shannon Sharpe. Check out what he had to say, and then I'll come back with my comments.
Shannon Sharpe's own attorney backing the bus over him, throwing him on the ground, run, just backing a bus over his client. I don't get this. I don't understand it. I don't see how it happened. This Shannon Sharpe is going to be Lee Harvey Oswald. I'm just a patsy. I'm not saying that he didn't violate this young woman. But damn, with this type of lawyering, boy, this ain't Johnny Cochran. This ain't, if the glove don't fit, you must have quit.
Nah,
this is
totally
somebody
different.
coming into the courtroom like, dog, he did it, and we tried to pay $10 million to get this wench to shut up.
Yeah, if you're Shannon Sharpe and his legal team, him making that video talking about there's a 10-minute video, put out the full clip, it's going to make him look a certain way. We got to hold Shannon Sharpe accountable. Yeah, I'm pissed off too that, these random accusers can file claims on people and it may not be true. But if you're Shannon Sharpe, man, you moving incorrect out there, dealing with a young chick, don't know how social media works in 2025. This ain't like 99 or 2000 when you can have a conversation like this and you don't have to worry about it being leaked. So Shannon misplayed his hand and finessed himself.
The man started out, she was blackmailing us. That was blackmail. And we were willing to meet her blackmail demands. Shannon Sharpe was going to give her $10 million.
Damn.
And then without any warning, she says, nah, I'm file this $50 million suit. Screw the tens of millions of dollars. I want to take Shannon down. This woman don't care about the money. She's got dirt on Shannon Sharpe. He knows it's an impossible explanation. The woman was 19 when they met. The dude, he was 54.
Yeah, I didn't know Shannon Sharpe was willing to settle for tens of millions or 10 million. So if you're Shannon, man, what more dirt does she have on you? There's other damning evidence that could possibly destroy you even more. He had an opportunity to possibly make 100 million plus with his media podcast deal. ESPN, they're looking like they may be parting ways with Shannon. We seen Stephen A. Smith podcast. He basically said he talked to the bosses and it ain't looking good. And if Shannon gets fired, paraphrasing, that ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm just the executive producer. So Shannon's in some deep waters right now. You finesse yourself and it may be over for you.
This is a cautionary tale. You can make fun of me. You can not like me. You can think I'm jealous. You can think, oh, Jason, this doesn't like black men. No. There are a group of people out there, and it's a lot of y'all. Black people, white people, Jewish people, liberal people, conservative people. Jason, don't give black men good advice. Make sure they're all just as irresponsible, controlled by their smallest head like Shannon Sharpe, so we can continue to put puppet strings on them and use them whenever we need a useful idiot. I sit here and try to tell you, be careful. Don't fall for them big cans and peanut butter skin. I sit here and try to tell you, have a public life, a private life, and a personal life.
Yeah, a lot of people laughing at Whitlock previously with the peanut butter skin and the big cans. Now it's looking like it's coming back to bite Shannon Sharpe. So I know we all want to go against Whitlock at times, but he be spitting real game. So It's cool to be, on the other side with Shannon, but you got to know the other side as far as Whitlock. And when he's spitting game like this, take heed. If it applies to you, so what? But don't just kind of discount him just because you may not like him. Got to listen to all perspectives.
I sit here and tell you, beware of these women.
Very. Beware.
Quit running around trying to prove how super masculine you are by sleeping with all these different women. Quit trying to prove how black you are by going out and playing this ghetto character. Once you adopt that character to make money, now you're addicted to that character. And so y'all can get mad at me all you want for trying to give black men the advice, and just men in general, the advice they need to survive this feminist, matriarchal, wicked world that has been constructed here in America and globally. Shannon Sharpe is in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, he's definitely in trouble. And again, when you got $100 million on the line with a new deal, then you got ESPN. There's just too much negative reports coming out. So even though Shannon, he got finesse and he put himself in a bad situation, ESPN, the owners, the CEOs or whoever's running it, they don't like these reports. They don't like the whole choking thing and I'm going to do this to you, regardless of how their relationship was and fetishes. It sounds terribly wrong. Even if, you don't look into the context of it still. The audio being recorded, he got set up. But if you're Shannon Sharpe, you got to be punching the air right now. Why did you put yourself in this situation? Why did you continually talk to this individual on the phone like this stuff could never come out? Got to be mindful of that.
I was trying to give Shannon Sharpe a warning. I was trying to give his fans a warning. I was trying to give y'all the clues to understand this idol that you put on this pedestal. Unk. And he's, Club Shay Shay. And Jason, you just don't like him because he's black. I'm like, no, you don't know him. I do know him. I know what transpired at Fox Sports. You're going to get embarrassed. And if he doesn't humble himself, repent, submit, he's going to get embarrassed.
And he is now.
And I tried to warn y'all. And no one wanted to hear it. And so I circled back. We found this clip, and when we dig back, we can find the clip from a year ago with Charlie Dixon. But I circled back in January when the Joy Taylor thing popped off. This is in January. And I was like, hey, be careful here. Be careful here, Shay Shay. Humble yourself. You could get yourself in a lot of trouble because you have an amazing HR file. There was an HR file at CBS Sports. There was an HR file at Fox Sports.
Yeah, as far as Shannon Sharpe's HR file, he found himself in other situations previously, but Whitlock, he been throwing out smoke signals to Shannon like, be careful, humble yourself. So maybe Shannon didn't really want to take heed to the information. He not rocking with Whitlock, don't like him, don't want to deal with him. So maybe he just ignored it. And it looks like it's coming back to bite him. So Whitlock has some information on Shannon Sharpe. He alluded to it, didn't want to go in details, but it looks like all that stuff at Fox and CBS, the media, they're going to start releasing that stuff on Shannon Sharpe.
Of me trying to warn you of what was going to transpire.
You've heard me allude to, Shannon Sharpe's not anywhere in this lawsuit. But trust me, they got an HR file on Shannon Sharpe that would make your head spin.
No.
The things that Shannon Sharpe did at FS1 make Joy Taylor look like Mother Teresa.
That's crazy.
But I'll leave it there because I don't want people to think I'm just unfairly going after Shannon Sharpe, although at some point I'm going to transition to why I think Shannon Sharpe is the person pulling the strings on all of this.
I ain't gonna lie, man. If I was Shannon Sharpe, I'd have reached out to Whitlock like, what information do you know about me? What do you think may come out in the near future so he can get ahead of it? Don't wait until everything's crashing and burning to where, okay, now I may want to have a conversation. Don't know if he is or not, but Shannon Sharpe wasn't strategic, finessed himself possibly out of $100 million contract, could possibly lose his deal with ESPN and other sponsors. Even though things may have been taken out of context, it don't matter. It just sounds bad, and the bosses and sponsors, they may cut Shannon Sharpe off immediately.
So that was in January, me talking about the Joy Taylor, New Scene, Fargy lawsuit. Skip Bayless offered $1 million to getting some makeup artist panties.
Skip was
All of that.
smash,
The allegation. Who was it? It was she made allegations against Joy Taylor and Skip Bayless, and that was me then using that to remind everyone that I felt like Shannon Sharpe was striking revenge against Skip Bayless because he's still upset about that, and striking revenge against Charlie Dixon, the executive, because he was still upset about that. And I was saying, they got dirt on you too, bro. And my expectations are what I was told last night is at some point this morning, some point in the next 24 hours, there'll be additional reporting about issues that had to be settled at Fox Sports related to Shannon Sharpe.
No. So there's more information. Again, Shannon, you got to make sure whatever's going to come out again isn't going to be the nail in the coffin of your career. Whitlock, he alluded to this months ago. Every time he brought you up in conversation, he always said, chill out, because there's more information on you and you don't have a perfect, squeaky, clean file at Fox. So whatever happened at Fox or didn't happen allegedly ain't a good look. Shannon don't need any more bad media press because this whole situation with the young chick is enough. Having anything come out about Fox and what happened at that time, again, that could be the nail in the coffin in his career.
I lived this. I was there in 2018, 2019, 2020 when this all was going on and all being talked about. And what I said was, hey, this lawsuit from this different woman who never worked at Fox Sports, man, they sound eerily familiar to things that were being discussed and talked about in 2018 and 19.
Damn.
I've been trying to put y'all ahead of the conversation. And I'm not dancing on Shannon Sharpe's grave. I'm really not. Because part of me feels sorry for Shannon Sharpe. These athletes, many of them, they have arrested development. They've made so much money at a young age for their athletic talent. And it's not, Shannon Sharpe had to work very hard to have the Hall of Fame NFL career that he had. But most of these guys, and even Shannon Sharpe, these are God-given gifts. These aren't the hardest work. Now, maybe when they get to the NFL, they have to work hard because they're competing against their peers. But when it comes to junior high, high school football, college football, they're generally speaking not the hardest workers. They're the most talented.
Yep, talent to carry.
And it almost doesn't matter what level of work they put into it because they're so abundantly talented that it doesn't matter. And then they get millions of dollars lumped on them and they think, well, I've done everything right. And then they've been worshiped their whole life because they're pro athletes and they think I can do no wrong and I'm a god and I can have whatever I want. And people cater to my every whim.
Don't work like that.
And if I want to rear end a 19-year-old girl that I met at a gym at 54,
crazy,
I get to rear end her. That's what we do.
Yeah, but Shannon Sharpe, he's cooked. He messed up. I don't like people being finessed and being lied upon. But if you knew this was a possibility that could happen, if you're Shannon Sharpe, should have never been comfortable on the phone like that, talking the way you were talking. So we'll see what happens moving forward with Shannon Sharpe.